Which EastEnders opinion will you defend like this? Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're doing a couple of Reddit videos in person. Got to take a bit more of a break, you know. Still the podcast as usual. No whodunit for now. But we will be back, well, like halfway through next week. But when this comes out, it'll be next week anyway. So time is a fucking circle. But yeah, this is going to be a couple of Reddit videos, so I hope we look forward to it. Bit of a change as Piggy's got shit eyes, so he's going to be like, bloody hell, what does that fucking say?
I mean, I can read it if you want me to.
What does that fucking say? You can read it if you want. But yeah, so what EastEnders opinion will you defend like this? That's obviously a picture from the upcoming Dean trial as a part of the next like story beat of the 6. So yeah, do you want to get fucking reading?
Heather Frost should have never been killed.
I go 50-50 on this one. Like, as much as I like it, through time has been a lot kinder to Heather, for me. And as much as I do generally fuck with a character, do I think, like, there was always out of all the characters that you were potentially gonna fucking kill, Heather was always at that fucking list, right? It's like,
I mean,
like, how long term a character was she really?
I mean, the way I look at it is the only thing that would benefit from Heather Trott not being killed is Harry Hill's TV burp, because he'd get another 60 years out of just, she's fat and we're gonna beat the shit out of her because she's fat and she likes sausages. She's fat. Do you get it yet? She's fat. And it's like, okay, thanks, Harry Hill. That's literally the only benefit I could see being out of it, is her getting the piss taken out of her for the next 10 years.
But I mean,
character-wise, she did pretty much come to the end. She could have left, let's be honest. But what's going to be more of a story?
Yeah, but she wouldn't have left, right?
she would have been...
She would have stayed there till she would have died in real life.
True.
She was never leaving that job by choice.
But the problem I look at it is how do you want to... Like, how do you... Because the plan is never what you see in the moment. It is, in a sense. But it's what you see long term. Like, yes, Heather Trott might be good for the first 5 months after she's still alive. But let's just go 5 years down the road. You wouldn't have got Mick. You wouldn't have got the Carters.
I mean, I don't think Heather was fucking gatekeeping the fucking cast, you know? Yeah, it would have been introduced anyway. She would have just been a side character.
Yeah, probably.
My point more so, and you kind of went that way, but you fucking took a weird little fucking detour off the cliff for some reason. If Heather dies, you don't get Mick Carter. Yeah, you fucking do. Alright? She's not one of the greats of all time. Like, at the end of the day, who's to tell that Heather wouldn't have just been axed in the next round of cuts? Like, she could have survived and she would have just been fucking murked anyways. And also, you know how everybody wants Fat Boy back?
Oh, no. Yeah, I do.
But, like, in the same way, you'd have to change the character. Because you can't just have 10 years of Heather being fucking shit.
It's...
Like, and just like how if you bring back Fat Boy, you can't just bring back Fat Boy from 10 years ago. So he's 10 years older. They actually have to develop into more of a well-rounded character, like become a mum, which is obviously what was taken away. Obviously, she could have done it. I'm not saying I hate the character. Yeah, she could still be alive, but the impact on the story, just like when Keanu died at the hands of the 6, the story's probably greater than Heather as a character.
I guess the only way I can describe this, and it is relevant because it happened a week ago, is it's like when Oasis reunited and it's like, oh, they're Oasis. Are they going to be like the 90s? No, because they're both in their 50s. It'd be weird if they're like, well, you know what? Fuck you, man. You shit on my toilet. Like, no, they're 50 now.
Never happened to me, of course.
Yeah, never happened to you, of course. So they're going to be 50. They're going to be much older. But they can't be the ones that were in the 90s where they were throwing shit out of hotel rooms, fucking thrashing places, getting kicked out of Amsterdam. Like, No, because
You have to mature.
you have to mature, and if you don't mature,
You're just that sad drunk in the pub.
Yeah,
so like, bloody hell.
bloody.
What the skibbity?
But yeah, that's how I describe it. Is you have to mature, and what would Heather really mature into?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The next one reads Pat Butcher more so the same year too.
Yes.
I agree. Pat Butcher should have never been killed off, but at the end of the day, when a writer sees like, oh, you want a 2-week break,
Dead.
how about we extend that to you're fucking dead? The next one reads, yes, I'll always say that. It should have been Roxy. Should have just been Roxy that died. If Roxy died, that could have just left. She could have just left for Ibiza and took
Ronnie, that is.
Ronnie. If Roxy died, Ronnie could have just left for Ibiza and took her son with her. She could have done a brief stint right about now to talk to some sense into Jack.
I mean, it would have been interesting to see, but it's hard to have one without the other.
Yes.
Because it's such a dynamic duo in a sense. You don't really want one without the other because they both complete each other in a way. But I mean, ultimately, I feel everybody be like, bring them. Well, everybody except for all the people who've been hearing everyone say, bring them back, we miss them. Everyone except the people who are fucking sick of it would probably happily have them back. Yeah. And the only reason people are kind of like, I fucking hate these characters is because people don't shut the fuck up about it.
I mean,
it has died down after a while, though.
I mean, it is that the same thing that you want your thing from your childhood, but do you really want it now? It's like,
yes.
It's like,
yes.
Would it be as fun as it was 10 years ago?
Yes.
And that's why people hate on it, I'd assume. It's like, these characters, yeah. It's like the Fat Boy stands again. It's like, you've had them 10 years ago.
I mean, it's like you complain about the Suki and Eve stands, despite never interacting with any of the Suki and Eve stands. You want to have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Next one reads, killing Abby was a mistake. Lauren and Whitney aren't that close anymore. Charlie talks to Max. At least they had the sister dynamic.
100% agree. I think that Lauren's the shitter one. I think Abby was way more interesting.
I know, because I know AI isn't that advanced yet, but I need AI. Because, you know, like you'll interrupt memes now with AI. I need to have the meme where it's just them on the roof. And then it cuts to AI, obviously, and it's just Ash grabbing Abby, pulling her away.
I'll save you, Abby.
I
can't let you fall off that roof.
Fucking Spider-Man webs out her off the roof, just swings through the city.
I do agree, though.
Linda and Johnny and the kids need to move out of the Vic.
Yeah, but you want Linda. I'm not saying Linda for the last 2 years. Linda in 2023 wasn't the main character, but Linda in 2024 is the main character of the show.
Yeah.
And by having them at the centerpiece of the show being the Queen Vic, it doesn't really hit the same. You know, people may be a bit fucking shocked by this comparison, but it's like taking Angie out of the Vic. It doesn't work, you know? Anybody else remember when Linda was just working at the fucking laundrette for a while? Where she moved into a different flat? It's not the same. Obviously, it would help if fucking they moved out of the Vic because she's a struggling alcoholic. But also, yeah, she plays a key pivotal role. And, yeah, I like it.
Flawed characters are too often confused as being bad characters who must be written out. Is this guy saying Alfie Moon 2018 was good?
No, it's just I think it's just people complaining. Oh, these characters are fucking one-dimensional. So, well, no, you just don't like them. Yeah, but they're shit characters anyway. It's like, well, you haven't watched any of what they do. You know, it's that general thing.
I'll read on. Oh my god, yes. I get so sick of that. Oh, we don't want one-dimensional characters. I want to see some character development. Seriously, no, you don't. You guys can't even deal with the most complex, flawed characters we have. Some fans would be in for a shock if they watched the early years. Lol, exactly.
I mean, take Ben Mitchell, for example. A very flawed character, but he's one of the most fucking polarizing characters of the last, ever since he came back, you know? Like, as much as... Doesn't mean he was a great character, because a lot of people probably would have taken it a different direction. But also, people gave a shit. And he was a flawed character, and he was a complex character. And, yeah, people want a complex character, but then tar it with the same brush that they fucking started with.
Okay, I have to read on. I have to read the next one, because this one confuses me. Lena technically isn't a murderer. She was saving Sharon from getting strangled. I can see where you're coming from. But if I stab...
It was self-defense in a way.
It was self-defense, but it was still murder.
What is misandry? Hatred of men. Okay.
Oh, fuck, here we go. But it was self-defense. I will agree with you. But again, it is murder.
They did cover it up.
They did, like it's all right if you ran into the police station, blood on your hands, pants down, and went, look, I did kill a man, it was self-defense. But where the murder aspect comes into it is, you did cover up a body.
Exactly, like...
so you can't really...
Obviously, it wasn't cold-blooded. It wasn't a cold-blooded kill. It wasn't intended to be... No one went into that Vic intending to kill Keanu. It was self-defense, but yeah, they covered it up, so...
Because what's going to look more dodgy? You go in there, you admit you killed him, or you go in there, you admit you killed him, you cover up the body, wait till it was found, placed it on a different person who raped you, and then try and get him charged with the murder that he didn't do. You know which one sounds more dodgy, don't you, mate? But yeah, continuing on, the sixth storyline isn't promoting misandry. Was hatred towards men or misogyny?
Yeah, it's not. It's I mean, I think there's a big push for a lot of media towards hating men, but I think it's just become a bit of like a bit in the fucking culture war, where you have all of these like powerful woman characters, and you're making the men look bad. It's been a talking point for years in media, and it's overblown.
See, what I love about this kind of thing is when fucking men, like, who'll happily get long sleeve tattoos, you know, they'll cover their whole body in long sleeve tattoos. They see a woman who has a slightly, like, tattoo on her knee, and they go, bloody hell, you've ruined your body. And I'm like, so have you, mate.
Yeah.
So have you. It's like if a woman...
Yeah, it's the double standard,
yeah,
right?
It's just like, another one I love is like, if a woman's slightly muscly, a muscle mummy, basically, you'll have a man going, bloody can't do a woman who's like a man.
I remember there being a big thread saying, if you like that, it's because of the fucking gay mind virus has taken control. Some people like muscles, right? It's nothing wrong with it. They're in good shape.
Who doesn't want a woman who can pick you up, like, and lift you while helping you to relieve yourself? Who doesn't want that? The next one is, every new character isn't terrible. They need time to develop and adapt to the square. That's true.
Mate, that's a fucking that's a hot take for this fucking subreddit. Who was the last character people genuinely liked on introduction? Was it George Knight? I guess Teddy. He got a lot of good praise. But it is Teddy and George Knight, let's be fucking honest.
Same-sex ships, or same-sex, like, relationships, in general, are pretty toxic, and it's kind of weird to be obsessive over the actors because of a character of, like, I agree with this wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Like, the example I could give is...
I mean, the amount of, like, it's just, you see them talk about the actors, and like, the actors have such good chemistry as well. It's like, they're acting. They're acting.
Or Bell and Hev. Oh, but the example I can give to this is when we were at Wembley, obviously I kind of knew where the wrestlers were staying, because last year I was like in the same block, and you could immediately tell. So like me, Ash and Slayer were walking past the hotel, and you could see just these, I don't care if this offends anyone, just sweaty fucking virgin marks, just standing at the hotel waiting for a wrestler to come out so they can shove a piece of paper in their face and get them to sign an autograph. That's what I compare it to, because it's kind of like you are invading a bit of privacy. You can talk about like, oh, this is my favourite wrestler, this is my favourite character. But if you start like going up to them and going, what's your take on ships? It's like... Yeah,
it's people... It was... Because I've been there. I've been there in the past. When I was fucking growing up watching soap and, you know, getting into things, I did indulge in I wasn't a part of ship culture because I'm antisocial as fuck. But yeah, no, I did have my favourite couples, and that would have been a way I would have gotten in some storylines, right? You watch a relationship, and you get really invested. You're like, oh, this is great. And for some people, they become like a comfort thing. And I get it, but yeah, where I draw the line is where you start both shipping the actors, which is like they're playing a fucking character, and when you get a bit obsessed with the people playing them. Like, yeah, sure, you can say they were doing a great job and they're a fucking great actor, but like, it shouldn't really get that deep.
Like, the other one I always compare to is like Tommy in it when he was in that Minecraft server with all those YouTubers that we don't talk about. And basically, obviously you have the fans going, oh, you're great, Tommy, in this group. You know, I love the Dream group. And then basically you have these people going, bloody hell, Tommy, you know what you love to see? You being fucking stabbed by Dream. That's fucking, oh. And it's like, whoa, mate.
It gets a bit much, yeah.
Whoa.
Obviously, the EastEnders subreddit isn't, or the EastEnders fandom isn't that bad.
Yeah, but I compare on that same level where it's like, whoa, there is a boundary. There is a...
But yeah, like, there's a part where it becomes like a weird parasocial relationship, and it's like some people are genuinely like feeling like they're getting closer to the actors because they like their tweet, and it's like, guys, please.
I get them being your comfort, like it helps you escape reality, but the thing I have to always say is you separate the character from the actor.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you can love Suki, you can ship Suki, you can say you want to bring her out on a lovely date, but if you go, I want to bring Belle out on a lovely date, Belle out on a lovely date, you know, show her the scenery, make her feel like she's in London. It's like, yeah, that's a bit too far, mate.
Yeah.
But that's the end of that. I just think you can like a character, you can love them, but it's when you start becoming a stan of the actor or actress. Like, it's funny because I do go to ask sometimes whenever Sid Owen is in some like fucking shit thing. I just go, look, have you seen what Sid Owen's in recently? Like, but I'm not
the guy who plays Ricky.
Yeah, the guy who plays Ricky. But I'm not like, actually, see what Sid Owen just took a shit. He fucking 4 likes. Did you see that? But yeah, that's a
I think a lot of time it borders on obsession, and that's not really the place you want to be.
Yes. People think the Six is storyline is promoting.
That's just tangentially related.
Stop banging on about characters you want back from the dead. I personally don't want Keanu or Mick back. Who the fuck wants Keanu back?
I don't know.
Or Mick back, and I wouldn't mind seeing Roxy or Ronnie, but not as they died on screen.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough. That also does depend, like, because it also does depend on how they die, because obviously the obviously Fatboy died off screen technically because you can't show that death, but it does depend on how they die in a sense, because if they drown you can easily just go, oh, they went to Mexico. Fair enough.
I suppose this last one. I mean, this last one's become, because obviously in this last year, my brother started watching EastEnders, and he's not watched EastEnders since like 2008 to 2009, and we often keep joking about it, but I am fucking tired of the fandom with how it's one of those things where I think I guess I can relate towards football, where sometimes you'll have that new football fan who it's their like first, second season, and it's like, yeah, it's gonna be great, we're gonna win everything. Then obviously you have people who have been doing it for years, and they're in their like fucking 20th season. They're like, don't get too excited, it's fucking shit. But they're still there each fucking week. They're still like loving it and like, yeah, this is great. But they're still complaining because they're so like worn down that it's just like, oh fuck, I can't fucking handle this. And it feels like that's the fucking Reddit. And that's Twitter, where it's like, this scene's fucking shit. Why? I don't like it. Haven't been watching their scenes at all. I do skip all their scenes, but I think this is fucking shit. And it's like, it becomes like Monster of the Week as to who's the least favourite character. I fucking hate Cindy. Fucking dickhead. Eileen, worst mother ever. Fucking, you know, fuck that Harry kid, the horny bastard. Penny is a fucking bit, like, it never ends. There's no stopping. And it just becomes so draining, because obviously, you know, we cover the Reddit for fucking most of our videos, so it is a bit frustrating to fucking. It feels like I'm getting ground down sometimes.
The comparison I can compare it to is like The Simpsons, where obviously if you watched it for the first 10 seasons, then you went, okay, it's falling off a bit, and then you have your son who starts to watch it, and he's like in the seasons from like 20 to 35, he's enjoying it, and then obviously you go on Twitter, you haven't seen The Simpsons in years, so let's say about 30 years you haven't seen it. You see this scene where Martin's secretly an undercover cop. I've put that in quotations. That is not real. That was a sketch they did to actually wind people up, I believe. Where they have Martin be a 40-year-old undercover cop. And he goes home to his wife. He obviously pulls out a beer and he goes, bloody hell, it's hard being a 10-year-old at school. Obviously a lot of people went, bloody hell, ruining Simpsons, are you? And then the writer went, can't really ruin The Simpsons if you haven't watched it in 10 plus years, like, can you? It's like, fair enough. That's how I compare it to. It's like that angry Simpsons fan who hasn't watched it in years. He sees that scene and then he's like, bloody ruining Simpsons. But yeah, the last one reads here, 2020.
I like you basically took the same example and just fucking repeated it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
It's just fuck originality, right? Yeah. I'm going to describe it the exact way you did it, but I'm going to take out football and say Simpsons. Fucking dickhead.
Britannia.
It's like how we were on the fucking train yesterday and I'm like, I hear this man and I wish I was more Welsh, and then about 20 minutes later he goes, yeah, I'm jealous, I want to be more Welsh. I'm like, fucking, I just said that, man. Fucking stop stealing all my shit. Make your own opinions.
But I do want to be more Welsh.
Yeah, well, I fucking said it 20 minutes ago. I'll stake my claim. But yeah, let's just wrap this final thing around.
2023 is the only solid year of EastEnders, really, for 10 years.
Hold on a minute. It's just the rest of that. But yeah, agreed that the EastEnders fandom is very toxic most of the time. Love the show, but some of the opinions are like we're watching the same show. Lol, can we explain the ship versus ship dynamic on Twitter? And then you go on Twitter for spoilers the majority of the time, but I'm seeing a lot of Balam fans based on a post going on Suck Eve. I'm really seeing Sucky fans say much about Balam at all. When did this start? I'm so confused because despite what ship you like, they are representations for the LGBTQIA plus community. So let's be honest, representation tends to suck anyways. Kill all gays, or all gays cheat. Also, it's two ships with very different backgrounds, storylines, dynamics. Men loving men, woman loving men. I assume that's supposed to be woman.
Yeah, women loving women.
But there's an M there. Young couple versus middle-aged couple. I see people comparing Eve to Nish, and I'm like, are we watching the same show? It's a bit cray-cray. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of... It's also the problem with the fandoms anyways, is because it's like a very tight-knit group of people, and they're all sharing all of their, like, kind of... I don't want to characterize it as obsessive, but they're very, like, fixated. Same thing. Same thing. But, you know, very fixated on their ship. It then just becomes like, you don't like Balam, you've been hating on Max for years. Like, we did a fucking joke video the one time about, like, Charlie Jones being the best Bent, which was just us sticking about because it was funny. And then we got like, you guys spread so much hate about Max. I'm like, I don't fucking do. I don't fucking care about the actor. Care about the character. It's a show.
Like,
but yeah, it does become very combative, and that's something I don't like either. Like, just we're all enjoying the same thing. We're all enjoying it for probably different reasons. Why has it got to be so fucking aggressive?
People just like
It's like Gollum with the fucking ring. My precious. No, it's fucking... It's like going mad because they're so fucking... Like, yeah, the Sucky and Eve, you're a Balam. Oh,
I don't know if this is the correct comparison I can make. But I think of a wrestling fan we met outside Wembley, and we were talking, and obviously the show is AEW. So he bloody sees these lads, or these YouTubers who, like, make, like, wrestling videos. They talk about, like, wrestling news, basically. Bloody hell, what Vince McMahon got into this week, you know, he ate Chipotle and shit himself.
Well, it's just the tribals.
Yeah, and then this guy just goes, bloody hate these guys. Why? They bloody pick on AEW. And I'm like, just grow up. Just grow up. It's the exact same thing, where it's just bloody...
Obviously, Piggy did not say it, because he was a fucking brick shithouse.
He was a brick shithouse with tattoos, and he was bald. I'm scared of him.
But yeah, any other small ones? 2023 was the only solid year of EastEnders for 10 years. Nah, that's a bit much. The Hookah Lucy year was great. There's some good years in between there. It's just I don't hate the sentiment, but it is wrong.
George's storylines, yes, all of them have been boring. As fuck.
Disagree. Everybody's been saying that the George, Eddie, Gloria stuff was probably the best stuff of this year.
Kat and Phil should get back together.
Yeah, agreed.
Phil should have lived, and he should now be dating Callum. Paul should have lived, and should now be dating Callum. I said what I said.
I'd prefer Paul to have lived, but yeah, unfortunately, he probably would have been axed at another time because Ben is a tragic character.
Ben is, or not Ben. Whitney is and always has been the problem.
Not when she was getting abused by her stepdad. And that wasn't the problem. But she does make the same choices over and over again and gets shocked when they don't work out for her. But obviously when she left, she chose herself. So yes, no, maybe. Anyways,
say it ain't so.
That's been another Reddit video. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a good topic. It's a fun topic. If you have any EastEnders opinions that you would fight like this, tell us in the comment section down below. See you next time. Bye-bye.